Hey guys, and welcome to the third episode of the Urban Legends series of some magical story time. This is the segment of the show in which I retell urban legends, obviously, for those who might just be tuning in. So, the urban legends I'm going to be telling you today will be as follows. Our first story in today's episode is The Curse of Bed Number 3. Now, this is a story of a supposedly cursed hospital bed in an African hospital where patients mysteriously died overnight in that bed. And there was someone around to witness this. A nurse whose shift had recently been changed from Saturday to Thursday nights. Now, let me tell you the whole story. Every time a patient would be admitted to the hospital with an illness or a complaint, they'd be admitted to bed 3 on this ward. And while they were sleeping, they would mysteriously die in that bed without any known cause. Now, the young nurse at the time actually worked on Thursdays during the day, so wasn't there when these deaths happened, since they only happened at night. And every time a patient was in bed 3, but her rota was then changed, so she then worked on Thursday nights, and she was there to see what happened. Now, what I forgot to mention is they would station someone to watch bed 3 at nights before this nurse's rota was changed. And when they started doing this, the mysterious deaths in bed 3 suddenly stopped. So they stopped stationing someone in the ward to watch over the bed. Now, this happened around the same time the nurse's shifts were changed from Thursday during the day to Thursday nights. So she happened to be there right when they stopped doing that. And on her very first Thursday night shift, a patient was in bed 3 and it was unplugged. That's what she saw. So a patient died in bed 3. But what she saw was nothing extraordinary. The bed was just being unplugged by the hospital cleaner, so she could use the socket for the Hoover while she cleaned the room, not knowing that it was going to unplug the life support system of whichever patient was in that bed, because the cord of the Hoover didn't actually reach where she needed it to go. So the supposed curse of bed number 3 was just the life support unit being unplugged, so a Hoover could be used. Not a curse at all. So, that is it for this story. But stay tuned, because there is another one coming. Our next story is one that could hit home for some of you. And then again, maybe not. But I'm going to call it Cooked from the Inside Out. Now, this story actually concerns a young bride-to-be wanting to look her best for her upcoming wedding. So she spends a lot of time going from tanning salon to tanning salon using their tanning beds in order to give herself the tan she wants for her wedding. The only problem is she's overusing the tanning bed. And by the time her big day arrives, she collapses at the altar, dead, having been cooked from the inside out by the tanning beds. Yes, the tanning bed had cooked her insides. Let that be a lesson to you. There's another story coming. Our final story today for this section is sorry about that, guys. Our final story for this section today is The Hook. Yeah, okay. And now, this story is set at the viewpoint of Lover's Lane, where young couples go to make out, and involves a specific young couple who were at Lover's Lane on this particular night making out, when a news report comes onto the radio informing them of an escaped killer who has escaped from the nearest prison. And to warn them to get out of the area and go home. Now, understandably, the young woman in this case is scared to death and wants her boyfriend to drive her home. And he won't do it straight away. Despite having been warned not to stay in the area. And after much pressuring and much convincing, he does eventually take his girlfriend home. But when he gets out of the driver's side to go to the passenger side to usher her out of the vehicle, he finds a hook hanging on the handle of the door. Yes, they have been targeted by the killer. Okay guys, that's our 3 stories. And you'll be happy to hear my report that none of them are true. These are all legends. So yeah, there you go. 3 stories that are total urban legends. So you can rest assured that you won't be stalked by a hook-handed killer, nor will you die in bed number 3 if you're on an African ward. Why would you be if you're not in Africa? And nor, for that matter, will you under any circumstances be cooked from the inside out by a tanning bed. Because the ultraviolet lights of a tanning bed are not powerful enough to cook you from the inside out. No, sir. And no, ma'am. That can't happen. Okay. So that's it for today's 3 stories. I hope you enjoyed. There will be another episode of this segment coming soon, but until then, if you enjoyed this one, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Feel free to leave a request for an urban legend to be told in the comments below. Or request for any segment in which I just come on and tell stories. Wait, there's only 2 of them, and the other one's for personal stories, so I can't really do that. That's just for this one then. So... But anyway, thanks for watching and have us a magical time.